Hello, everybody. This is Dr. G. Rex Kruhly. This is a explanation for you because I know there's more coming with a pandemic and people are worried, and I'm getting people calling me from all over the world. They're thinking about COVID and the next pandemic and their health. One of my clients told me this morning that they were on a plane and the lady next to them was coughing, and they're worried, so they start to feel bad and stuff like that, and they think they're getting sick. So first of all, I want you to know that that is all complete nonsense. Utterly, totally has no validity at all. But I want you to understand why and what the actual reality is, and I will explain it to you now in terms of science, okay? So this is like a mini lesson on genetics. Okay, I'm in my garden here, so all the flies love my head and they tickle, so I might scratch. All right, now, first of all, in my generation, I'm 66 now. When I was a little boy, growing up in Canada, and the weather changed, and it would start to get cold and rainy. And if you were a little kid and you went outside and you got cold and soaking wet, and the first thing mom says is you're going to catch a cold, you're going to get sick, you're going to get the flu. That's all rubbish. It has no validity at all. However, most of the kids get sick, catch a cold, get the flu. Why? So that's what this is going to explain in scientific terms, okay? Because in science, we know the answers to that now. So, I want you to realize that genes control proteins and what proteins do. And what proteins do creates life. So genes are like a library. It's like a library of different books with different facts. Genes cannot turn themselves on or off. Genes respond to the environment. How? They respond to the environment through signals. What kind of signals? Energy signals, vibrational signals. Now, chemistry is energy signals. Sounds are energy signals. Smells are energy signals. Everything is an energy signal. Now, the genes in our cells are in the nucleus. So think of the nucleus like a library. But nothing in the library can turn itself on or off or do anything unless it's selected and activated. What's going to do that? The cell membrane. The cell membrane is the brain, and on it are all millions and millions of receptor cells, receptor sites. The receptor sites are like little antennas, and they open and close doors in and out. They allow what goes into the cell, what goes out of the cell, or what has to stay out of the cell is not allowed. And how the cell membrane perceives its environment, the energetic environment, the signals, how it perceives it as either good or bad, positive, negative, safe, dangerous, healthy, toxic. However it perceives the signal, it opens the appropriate doors and the signal goes in. If it's negative signals, it triggers and activates proteins that have to do with fight or flight, stress responses, self-protection. If it perceives that the signals are loving, healthy, positive, it goes in and it signals genes for growth and repair, reproduction, and nourishing life, cultivating your health, energy, and so forth. So it's either a signal that's going to initiate stress, fight or flight, or life, health, repair, reproduction. Those are the two options, depending on the cell membrane's perception of the signals it's receiving from its environment. Now, let's scale that up. We have Mr. A and we have Mr. B. Mr. B is a multi-millionaire businessman who grew up and lived his entire life in Manhattan, New York. He's a city boy. His clothes alone, are worth like 3 months' pay for most people. And then we have the other guy, and he's a farmer. He grew up on the farm from a long generation of farmers. The farm was built by his great-great-grandfather, and the whole family has always lived and inherited that farm. It's a big farm, and they grow vegetables and things. So they till that land, and then every year they seed it all with cow manure and water that. And that brings, that smells, and it has trillions of flies and everything, but it nourishes the ground, which produces beautiful crops. So the environment we're going to describe here is a wet, cow manure saturated farmyard in between crops. And the Manhattan businessman with his $600 shoes comes to visit. So he's in that environment. And the farmer is taking him to show him the farmyard where the crops are going to grow. And he's in this same environment. So we've got the cow manure, it's wet, it's mud, it's all flies, and the farmer's there and Mr. Manhattan's there. Now, to the perception of the Manhattan man, the farmyard is repulsive. It's full of cow manure, which to him means E. coli, very dangerous disease. If E. coli gets in your system, you're in big trouble. It's all flies, and they land on his face and everything, and he's very irritated. He's scared to death of E. coli, and he finds the whole thing disgusting. So because that is his cognitive perception based in his subconscious database, because his database is from Manhattan, New York. So his database is very different from the farmer, and that's giving him his perceptions. And those perceptions are negative, based in fear and worry and revulsion. So what happens to the cells in his body? Those cells are receiving a signal in that environment from his subconscious perceptions that he's in a very unhealthy place. That dumps cortisol into his system. The blood of his body's temple is shunted away from his internal organs and his immune system starts to close down because the blood is rushed to his arms and legs, so he can either run away and escape or fight. That's the fight or flight response. But his immune system is down. When his immune system is down, E. coli can attack him in his gut biome, which is made out of parasites, viruses, and bacteria. They get out of balance because his immune system is down. So they start to grow out of control. And that starts to make him sick or can develop sickness. Because his subconscious is giving him that information of that environment, and then that qualifies the internal cellular environment. That opens the doors for the stress hormones and activating the genes for fear, fight or flight, and where to distribute the blood to shut down the immune system and to get out of there. Now, at the very same time, the exact opposite is happening in the farmer. His subconscious database says that he is in a paradise. He's facing an upcoming great crop. So that's his perception from his subconscious database, which says this environment is wonderful. So the internal cellular environment, every cell is perceiving happiness, growth and repair. All the cell membrane receptors for the positive genes, growth and repair, very, very strong nervous system, very strong immune system. All of that is being activated in his genetic pool. So his immune system is as strong as steel. So the farmer never gets E. coli. He doesn't get a cold. He doesn't get anything. He's as healthy as a horse. Two guys, exactly same environment, completely different perceptions, causing completely different gene expression. And that's how this works. So, why doesn't G. Rex Kruhly ever get COVID? It's impossible, because in my belief system, I don't allow for that. I don't allow for that. It doesn't exist in my belief system. I don't give a damn about it. So it never touches me. It never touches me. Now, I have very good friends that are world-class doctors, and they got it. The only reason is their belief system allows for it. They have a doubt. I don't have a doubt. Now, that sounds really cool and like I'm really a tough guy, but I'm not that tough. Bruce Lipton will explain often about the Southern Baptists in the Southern United States. They're fanatical. And what they do is whip themselves up into a state of ecstasy, religious ecstasy, based in Jesus. Those guys have a belief system that when they're in that state of ecstasy, they are completely, nothing can touch them. How do they prove that? They drink a glass of strychnine poison. Strychnine will kill you that fast. Put it on your tongue, you're dead and gone. Nothing happens to those people. They will allow rattlesnakes to bite them. Nothing happens. That's documented fact. These people do it all the time. The thing is, they are in a altered state of religious ecstasy, believing they believe that they cannot be affected by the poison, the snake, or anything else. and they don't. Now, if you put strychnine poisoning in me, I'll be dead instantly. I don't have that kind of belief. COVID is nothing to me. As far as colds and all that stuff goes, when I was a younger man and I didn't understand these things, I used to get sick all the time. Not anymore. Now, I have as you most of you know, I had a car crash and my sciatic nerves are inflamed. And that's a different ball game. I have to remove that inflammation, and it's very stubborn. That's different. What I'm talking about for you guys is these coming pandemics and everything. Work on understanding how this actually comes into effect. It's only going to hurt you if you have a belief, if you are afraid. That's why I'm doing the collectives for masses of people. Take out fear, take out anger, take out the frequencies and the perceptions that weaken you and shut down or hinder your immune system. Your immune system is so powerful, it's inconceivable. But you have to understand it and you have to believe it. Now, what does depth healing do? Depth healing goes into your subconscious, finds the false beliefs, the negative beliefs, the negative imprints that create the fear or the gap or the doubt, and I remove them. When I remove them and they're gone, you don't have that problem anymore. So with depth healing, I am working directly on your perception sets. Your perception sets are directly giving you your genetic expression. Cancer is the result of perception. It's been proven there's no such thing as a gene that causes cancer. Genes don't cause anything because they're inanimate. They have to be activated. They are activated by environment. What interprets the environment? Your subconscious mind interprets it, and it sets the stage for the cellular environment that the cells are reading. You cannot separate the two. It's impossible. And always remember, if there is no environmental signal, the genes do nothing. Now that's peer-reviewed science. This isn't theory or anything else. And the reason depth healing has so much power is because of the depth that it's able to go to in your subconscious, and the accuracy, the surgical precision of the process when you see me. I hope that all makes sense to you. Please do not be afraid. When someone sneezes, forget about it. I don't care if they sneeze right on your face. It means nothing unless you give it importance. Now, remember, the frontal cortex, you can say, well, I won't give it importance anymore. But if there's cognitive dissonance in the subconscious, that you are worried or you are afraid or there is an imprint, it will make you sick, because the cognitive dissonance is over 1 million times more powerful than what you just tell yourself here. That's why you come in to see me. That's why depth healing works. That's why it's at the top of the totem pole in healing methods in the world. Because it does what I'm telling you it does. And what I'm telling you it does is miraculous. So this is G. Rex Kruhly sending you my love. Take good care of yourself and get in to see me real soon. Make sure you're going to the website, eh? We have the huge full moon Seva ceremonies, enormously powerful, they're free. There are the 2 collectives now every month. You just register, they're only $50. And for your personal issues, you see me privately. You go to depthhealing.org and everything is laid out right there for you. And please spread the word. We need a big, powerful community. We need to really bring this work home to the society and the world. Bye for now, folks. Bye-bye.